p.m. We're going to call to order the December 19th, 2016 regular meeting of the Richfield Housing and Redevelopment Authority. Our first order of business is approval of minutes of the regular HRA meeting of November 21st, 2016.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Are there any comments or corrections or changes? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We've approved the minutes. Our second item of business is approval of this evening's agenda.
I'll move the agenda.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion of the agenda? All right, all in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We've approved the agenda, which brings us to the consent calendar. Executive Director Devich.
Thank you, Chair Supple and members of the HRA. The consent calendar, for those at home, contains several separate items which are acted upon by the HRA in one motion. And once the consent calendar has been approved, the individual items and their recommended actions will also have been approved, and no further action on these items is necessary. Starting with item A, we have consideration of a resolution authorizing the use of an Affordable Housing Initiative Fund loan for the acquisition of 7227 Chicago Avenue by the West Hennepin Affordable Housing Land Trust. Item B is consideration of a resolution authorizing execution of an agreement with the Greater Metropolitan Housing Corporation for the acquisition, rehabilitation, and sale of houses under the New Home Program utilizing 2016 Community Development Block Grant funds. And finally, item C, consideration of a resolution authorizing the purchase of real property located at 6625 2nd Avenue through the Richfield Rediscovered program. And that concludes tonight's consent calendar.
I'll move the calendar.
Second.
Are there any questions or comments on the calendar?
Not really. I'm assuming that the agreement with the Greater Metropolitan Housing Corporation says for housing is to be determined, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
All right. Hearing no further discussion, we'll call the question. All in favor of approving the consent calendar, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We've approved the consent calendar. We are now at HRA discussion items. Is there anything that anyone would like to bring up?
I'd just like to note that the townhouses that were built adjacent to the concierge property, I've driven by them a couple times when they're under construction, then they stopped, there's a hiatus. But I drove by and they did a really, really good job on the front facades of differentiating. So you got 5 townhouses, but they used some pretty simple aesthetic devices, and they all look a little different from the front. They really, really have a nice look to them. I don't know, I don't recall specifically. I know that there was means tested and everything to buy them, but the product itself turned out well. And Karen, do you know anything about the marketing? Are they on an open market, or are they? I thought there was something about them not being sold internally, but they were marketed among some of the other. That's what I'm looking for.
Some of them are market rate, and some of them
Some
are
are market rate.
affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think the 2 end are market and the
Right.
3 middle are affordable. But I just wondering how they're doing in terms of getting them sold.
They're doing quite well. They've got a lot of interest. They don't have their certificate of occupancy yet.
Okay.
On the one that's finished, and until they receive that, they can't really show the unit.
Okay.
But they have a list of people very interested in all of them.
Yeah.
So
Good.
I sent some friends over. Did they call you, Karen? Some friends of mine are interested in buying them. Their kid, they want to downsize, and their daughter just moved into Richfield.
Okay.
And so
Wonderful.
perfect for them.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment that I thought they really did it. I haven't been inside, but outside they really look nice.
Karen, what's the price range?
they are being sold in the upper 200s, like 285 to 295.
Really nice. Nice product.
Other discussion items?
Madam Chair? I just want to say this is actually my last meeting as acting as an official here in my official capacity, and that I was just reminiscing over the fact that I appointed all of you here to the HRA, and I think this has been a really great HRA, and I think we take an awful lot of things and move them forward so that the council approves them, and we vet a lot of really great things, and we have done some really great work here. And I just want to thank you for your service, and I think I've been grateful to serve with you. And I think we've gotten a lot of great things done here as an HRA, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of the things that we've already started be completed by this HRA, because I think you'll do a great job as you move forward.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Appreciated working with
It's been an honor.
Yep.
I said it's
You've
probably the
got a
best job I ever had.
functional family here. It's
Oh, I know. It's been great. It's been great. I appreciate it a lot.
So don't allow us to fall into separation anxiety, okay?
Oh, I won't be a stranger here,
All right, that's good.
for sure.
So several commissioners attended the Southdale Library Community Task Force open houses. There's been 2 so far, and there's going to be another one. So anybody out there in the public, they're going to be meeting at the Southdale Public Library at 7001 York Avenue from 6 to 8 p.m. on Thursday, January 12th, 2017. And they're also looking for people to serve on that task force. They need a community member at large from Richfield, somebody that lives in the neighborhood, and I think somebody from one of the city commissions. So Mr. Devich may know more about that.
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the HRA. Yeah, we've talked about that internally with staff, and I've also just had some preliminary discussions with Mayor Gotel, Commissioner Gotel, regarding that. We've got some individuals in mind that I think we're going to, I'll be bringing forward very shortly.
Go ahead, Commissioner Rubenstein.
Yes, one thing that if people do attend that meeting in January, it's sort of they're not particularly looking for input at that stage. There have been 2 meetings where there have been community input, and unfortunately, Richfield was not strongly representative at those input meetings. There was substantial, and I understand Mayor Gotel met with them as well and expressed some concerns about some of the plans that had been proposed. But it's to react to the January meeting is to get a community reaction to the summary and preliminary, and that's certainly going to be very preliminary plan that might be acted on. So they're not looking for new input, they're looking for reaction to a plan.
Is it, will the agenda or the items that'll be discussed or that have been discussed and suggested steps moving forward, is that published somewhere? Can somebody find that before they go over and get it posted at the meeting?
That I do not know.
Executive Director Devich, would you at least send that to the council?
Yes, definitely.
Council needs to be in on this a little bit more. I know that one of the meetings is actually during one of our council meetings, because
Yes.
I wanted to get over there,
Right.
and we can't. So
Yeah.
participation has been difficult because of their scheduling and not thinking about our city business. So
Right.
it would be nice to have, even maybe we should just have a short study session for the council, even though I'm not going to be here.
We could, I'm just trying to think.
It'd only take 10 minutes somewhere.
Okay, maybe I can, yeah. I'm pretty sure, well, I probably have a little bit a little bit of time to talk about that on January 10th.
Yeah, that'd be a good thing to do.
Yeah.
So then they could be there. Because I'll try to go to the 12th, because I have not been able to make any of the meetings because it was during other meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I brought that to their attention.
And I know that a member of the Planning Commission, she was at a work study here, made a special effort to get over to the end of that meeting, but you all had a city council meeting.
Yes.
Right.
So
Right.
Commissioner Gepner, Commissioner Rubenstein, and myself were at one of the meetings, and I
Thank
think
you for
Commissioner
going.
Rubenstein went to 2 of them.
I went to 2 of them. There were some differences in what was brought up and discussed, but it was largely the same thing over again with different people giving different input.
Yeah.
But when Richfield, they scheduled it with conflicts for long-standing meetings for various Richfield official business, it did not shine a favorable light on the planners of those meetings.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, to be honest, because we had discussions with Edina about this whole thing coming.
Yeah, we meet
coming
with the,
down the
we
pi-
meet with the city manager and the
Right.
mayor
Yeah.
regularly.
You told me about that, yeah.
So, I mean, and
So-
I'm happy to do that, and that was one of the discussion items
Yeah,
about the whole planning and what
Uh,
they,
Yeah.
But
what
Edina
expectations.
is taking an aggressive lead on this whole project,
Sure.
and indeed, it is a Hennepin County project.
But,
Yep.
but Hennepin County is allowing them to do that.
Yes,
to a
they
point.
are.
And I've already talked to county, and I've been in their office, and I will continue to be an advocate
Great.
at the county level. You
We
have,
know you
you
will.
have an advocate.
just let me add, if I could, Chair Supple and Commissioners, I do feel, even though these first meetings out of the chute have not been probably as we would have liked, we will have input. We will definitely have input, and I will make sure that they know over in Edina that it's important that they check with us for scheduling, so they're not scheduling those open houses or any kind of meetings in the future when our elected officials can't be there, or even a
Unbelievable.
lot of our other advisory commissioners can't be
Yeah.
there. That was really unfortunate.
Yes, it
Well,
was.
one of the things that I was surprised is I wasn't aware, it's a 7 3/4 acre site, and so they said they don't need that much space for the library, so they may add other types of development there.
Yes,
And that could have a huge impact on the Richfield neighborhoods, and I know a lot of
Exactly.
the feedback
Yes.
we gave is how it would affect the Richfield neighborhoods.
And we had some pretty in-depth discussion about what we would like to see there and what has to happen or not happen because of the impact to
Right.
Richfield.
Yeah,
And so, talk about entrances to
Yep.
things,
Yeah.
talk about parking so that lights aren't in people's eyes, and what would work, because they've got an awful lot of density in that area already, and
Yes.
they're already having issues with traffic.
Yeah.
And so,
You know-
further roads into Ridgefield are not an answer it's not going to be a solution.
I just adding on to that, I think, at a recent a meeting, maybe it was about a month ago, the mayor and I made it pretty clear to them that there were things that, as she just indicated, that are really problematic for Richfield that they got to look out for, and everything from making sure that there's not lights coming in and shining into these homes, that you're not just going to dump a lot of traffic off into Richfield, that you're not going to make a wall or anything like a wall
Yeah.
for the Richfield residents to have to look at. But they certainly, Mayor, you can conclude or not, but I thought they were sensitive to what we were saying, and they acknowledged that they had to look at those things. Or it seemed to me that,
I've already talked to the county administrator about some of the issues, because they talked about the possibility of affordable housing. I said, wait a minute, that's in the Richfield School District. So I said I couldn't support something like that. And the county administrator, oh, that's right. And I'm going, yes. I said, that's right. And I said, you have to worry about that density there. And then when they talked about wanting to join the community together, I said, well, why don't you look at a promenade on the side of that, like you did behind Target and Home Depot? Put a wide bike trail there. Put a pocket park in there with a
Talked with them
playground.
about it.
I know. And so those are kind of the things that we had recommended and suggested. And so, to join community together. But I am real concerned about what they really wanted to do, and I don't know that it's going to be feasible. And I understand why, is they wanted to be able to develop it, and whatever development they put in with the library would pay for the library. And I don't know that they can do that. I don't know that that's feasible enough and not impacting other parts of our community to a point where it's not acceptable. So that's where the rub might come.
There was another thing that disturbed me when they talked about having retail or other revenue generators on the property, but particularly when they were talking about some sort of retail or pay amenities, is they were talking about any tax that would be collected from them would go to Edina. I'm going, hello, this is Hennepin County property. Where's the deal? Who signed this deal that the tax money's going to go to Edina?
Well, it does, portion of wood, because it is in the city of Edina. That is true.
Yeah, but the land is owned by
that's the
Hennepin
law.
County. That's by law.
That's by law. But, there are some things that would fit quite well there, Commissioner. Daycare.
Yeah.
something like the
Yeah.
Reserve,
Yeah.
where you hotel and work there. I mean, I think about some of the great things that could work there, and I could support, those kinds of establishments would, first of all, there's need, and it would work. And so I think there's still some things to think open-mindedly about how viable that is.
Okay.
I'm gonna let Karen respond to that because she's the one who's most carefully looking at the grants applications that we've got out there, and those are kind of the linchpins of what might be moving forward or not.
Thank you, Chair Supple, Commissioners. Cedar Point 2, we're in the process of developing the contract for private development with Boyclair Corporation. We're expecting to, or anticipating to bring that to the HRA in January. We did apply for a grant of $950,000 from Hennepin County. We were expecting to hear either by the end of this month or in January. Since I haven't heard so far, I'm assuming it'll be January. And then Cedar Point South, I'll just add too that we did just get formal approval from the Met Council of an award of $1,350,000 for the construction of Richfield Parkway. Yeah, so that was terrific news. And then as
Early
part of
Christmas
that
present.
Hennepin County grant application as well, we applied for $200,000 for the trail to go alongside of the new Richfield Parkway.
Excellent. Wonderful.
And have we heard, is everything going along well in the old city garage site?
It is moving forward. They had to extend out the closing deadline to honor before March 31st, but everything looks to be moving forward.
Thank you. Are there any other discussion items?
Exciting.
All right. And so that takes us to the executive director's report.
Yes, Chair Supple, members of the HRA, the things that I was going to mention, everybody else just mentioned.
Asked about.
Yeah. So I really don't have anything to say, really, other than we're going to miss working with Commissioner Gotel. This, again, your last HRA meeting, and again, a lot of years of working with you on the HRA, and of having a lot of things come to fruition.
Yes.
And just can only hope that all continues as we keep on
it will.
renovating Richfield.
Cool. All right, claims and payroll.
So moved.
Second.
I have a question.
Okay, it's been moved in second, and there's a question.
I was looking through it, and I think I know what this money was used for, but I would like a confirmation or just an explanation. There was nearly $500,000 you were waiting for this, weren't you, Karen? From Braun, Intertuck, and Bolander. Nearly $500,000, and it really didn't say what it was all about. Could you, I think it said for Lindale Gardens, but could you explain precisely what that was used for, and if there's going to be a reimbursement or anything on this?
Yes, absolutely. That was for the construction of the shoreline improvements at Lindale Gardens. That wasn't the full amount. And that is reimbursed through the grant that we received, the city received from Met Council.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm that.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we've approved claims and payroll. Well, thank you, Commissioner Gotel, and best wishes in your new endeavors.
Hip, hip, hooray.
And with that, the meeting is adjourned.
Hey.